perhaps overweight like I was, not the 10 or 20 pounds, which is still a struggle, but those that are morbidly obese. There are days when you wake up and you literally do not want to go on because it's a treadmill. And the thing with weight, it is so involved with your self-esteem, because everywhere you go, you're thinking people are looking at you. So during that time, I was a good mother, not a perfect mother, but I was a good mother, a good wife, but I was not necessarily happy with myself. I wasn't taking, I didn't know about self-care. I didn't know what was eating at me. I didn't know how to get off that hamster wheel. I knew how to take care of my husband. I knew how to take care of my children, but I didn't know how to take care of myself.
That's so interesting. I bet a lot of people don't know that they don't know that.
Right, right. And as I said that, Stephanie, I don't think I've ever said that I knew how to take care of my
that's
husband.
really interesting.
Yeah, and it just came out. I didn't know how to take care of myself. So what I did was poured myself into homeschooling my children before homeschooling was even popular. I gave up everything for my kids, didn't have a job. And then after they were gone, it's like I didn't even know who I was, Stephanie, because I'd never nurtured Lorraine. I'd always taken care of everybody else. I wanted everybody else to be happy, but I didn't know how to take care of me. And so it's been a journey. And you can tell that this is a good interview, Stephanie, because he's asked me some of those questions. So I didn't know how to take care of me. And I know there's people out there, like you said, that know that exact pain.
So was there a pivotal moment? Was there a pivotal person? Was there a pivotal situation? Was there something, or what was it that made you realize things were changing or going to change?
I believe it wasn't a person. If it was any person, you know who it was? It was finally me, because I tried to do things all my life for other people. And I didn't know how to love myself enough to do something for me. And I think if you read my story, when I turned 60, it was like fireworks in my head. I'm going, oh my gosh, if I live to be 100 or 90, 2/3 of my life was over, and you know in your head at 275 you are not going to live to be 90. So over 2/3 of my life was over, and I thought, oh my gosh, all those Mondays, all those New Year's resolutions, I have never taken care of myself. And so I began to do some research on personal development. I took some courses, and that was the beginning of taking care of myself. And
amen. Yeah. I'm telling you, people, personal development, people are kind of like, my friend needs that, but everybody needs this. It's an absolute game changer, whether you decide to get that development from books or audios or CDs or podcasts or inspiring people, and it's not, a once a year conference that happens. It is an ongoing, continuous development that will absolutely change and continue to change your life. So I am definitely waving the flag for personal growth.
Right, because what it is self-care, and we can only give to others from, I mean, I felt like I gave to my children and I gave to my husband, but in order to really give from our heart, when our cup is full, then we can give to others so much more freely, without any, anything attached to it. Sometimes before, when I felt insecure, there was always some attachment to giving. Now it doesn't matter,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, I'm always interested, like, how we can treat other people better. So, I had obese parents growing up. I've always struggled with food, but to look at me, if maybe I'm 15 or 20 pounds, it wouldn't, I wouldn't be drawing. You wouldn't, yeah, notice as much, I guess. It's
No,
a, it's a
I don't
different issue
notice at
for
all.
it. It's a different issue for me, as you're saying. Not that it's not a big deal, because you still want to be healthy and eat healthy, etc. But for somebody that is morbidly obese, that's a different ball game. What can we do? How can we make things better? How can we help? How can we support somebody? Because I bet everybody listening, if it's not you, you know somebody who is in this situation, who has this, probably a lifelong struggle.
Right, right. I think in being loving and gracious, but in the end, Stephanie, that person out there has to begin to take responsibility for themselves. So as other people, you can be supportive and loving, and people were in my life, but until I took full responsibility for myself, it never happened. So I could always blame somebody else. Well, my brother teased me, so that's what happened. My brother teased me, or the dog ate my homework, whatever. We can have all kinds of issues why we're not taking care of it. But until you learn that you are valuable and pull yourself up by the bootstrings, and then this is what I say, then you need help. I really honestly believe if you are morbidly obese, you need to have accountability. And I gained that with a Weight Watchers group. And then I have 3 friends that I always chime into every week and let them know how I'm doing. So accountability is very important, but treat others with respect and not being indignant because they're overweight, because sometimes we will feel disgust when we go into a room, or we will see negative looks or roll of the eyes or that kind of thing. So that's what they can do. But in the end, it's the person who is obese that needs to learn how to love themselves and then take their issue on.
Amen. Amen. And I think for me, like coming from the coaching perspective, I can't want a better life for somebody more than they want it for themselves.
Right.
Right. Whether that's health or relationships or professionally, whether it's this is a big thing for people too. Again, you talked a little bit about letting go. We can't want a better life for people more than they want it for themselves. Even if we gave birth to them, even if we married them, even if we're related to them in some way, ultimately that accountability piece is, it rests on our shoulders. So that some hard looking in the mirror is really what's required. It's not fun. And I tell people, this is the hardest work you'll ever do, working on yourself. It's tough.
Right. And that's absolutely the key, because the person has to take responsibility. And how you take responsibility, and this is what I did with myself. When I turned 60 and I had that conversation with myself that I was going to have to do something about this, I put myself naked in front of the mirror and I told myself, Lorraine, you are morbidly obese. What are you going to do about it? The reason I did that is because I could hide it under the carpet. I looked wonderful, Stephanie. Even when I was 275, I had dramatic clothes and big earrings, but I could not hide. I could not hide it from myself. Well, I thought I was hiding it from myself and the world. And so until I faced myself honestly in the mirror, there was no hope to get anywhere else. Similar as an alcoholic. Finally, when an alcoholic says, I need help, I'm an alcoholic. That's when you can turn the ship around.
Thank you for sharing your brave story in a different way. I look forward to part 2.
Yes, Stephanie, I'm so glad. And thank you. Thank you to the audience out there. Remember, please, it is never too late. It's never too late to lose weight, never too late to follow your dreams, never too late to live a life of purpose. But it is up to you. And it is never too late to take care of you. We will see you back here next week. And guess what? Stephanie will be back. Yikes.
Look out.
See you next week.